David Allen Knight is a convicted child assayer that lives in Atascadero, which is a small city in San Luis Obispo County, California, that's really close to Cal Poly University. Not much is known about David Allen Knight, and this is the best picture we have of him because shortly after Tommy passed away, David did his best to delete all his digital footprints. What we do know is that he's 61 years old and he works as a caretaker for a person that is paraplegic. David was born on June 16, 1963, outside of San Luis Obispo County, but moved to Atascadero during his middle school years because he essayed a young neighbor. So his family has just moved to get away from everything. His essay of minors doesn't end there. He has a criminal record of essaying minors in 1987, 1997, and 2003. These cases, however, have been expunged and are no longer available to the public, but some of the information from the 2003 case has been found. So Knight was charged in April 2003 with felony counts of continuous essay of minors under 16. The abuse took place between 1993 and 1996. Knight pleaded no contest and was sentenced to 120 days in San Luis Obispo County Jail. An officer involved in the case said that Knight's crime involved great violence, great bodily harm, high degree of cruelty, viciousness, or callousness. In 2006, Knight's defense attorney motioned the court to lift the mandatory registration requirement because of a state Supreme Court case that rendered unconstitutional the mandatory registration for defendants convicted of non-force on minors aged 16 or 17. So why was that motion granted if the victim was under the age of 14 when essay began and it was forced abuse? On October 2007, Knight successfully motioned the court to reduce his felony to a misdemeanor. During Tommy's parents' investigation, yes, they had to do their own investigation because the police department didn't really do anything of their own. Former victim of Knights started reaching out to Tommy's parents. One of them included a man that was 8 years old when Knight abducted and essayed him. There was also a victim that unalived himself after Knight entered his life when the victim was 17. Knight's own brother reached out to Tommy's parents and told them that Knight has always had an affinity for young boys. Knight's MO is to give young men alcohol to take advantage of them, and some of the places that he took Tommy are places that he has essayed other young men. He tried his best to groom Tommy, asking over-personalized questions. He asked Tommy about his concerns and problems so he can try and project himself as his savior. Tommy's parents have been doing their best to spread awareness of this dangerous person living in the area and also to try and get justice for Tommy. They've handed out flyers, they've made posters, they even had billboards. Their efforts haven't been in vain. They were able to help out 2 young men that were in the process of getting groomed by Knight to realize that they're in danger and to stay away from him. The most recent one being just a few weeks ago. David now lives alone. He was living in his mother's garage, but she has recently passed away, so he has the house all to himself, which is very dangerous. Tommy's parents, William and Mary Jane Drodry, are asking for anyone that has been essayed by Knight to please reach out to them. The San Luis Obispo Police Department reopened Thomas's case last year, and the new detective recommended for Knight to be charged with involuntary manslaughter, but it's now past the statute of limitations, and the DA refuses to ask a judge for an appeal because their case is not strong enough. Having some of Knight's victims come forward can help them show a pattern of predatory behavior and help get the statute of limitation reversed and to get him convicted of involuntary manslaughter. Men like David Allen Knight will never stop trying to get their next victim, and someone has to stop him.